In the headlines, Labour rejects federal government's fresh 60,000 naira minimum wage offer and insists on 494,000 naira. Contradicting court orders emerge over ongoing tussle for Kano throne. Senate pardons recall suspended Senator ABDUL NINGI. On the foreign scene, EU states announce formal recognition of Palestinian state. Now the news in detail. The organized labor has again rejected a fresh minimum wage proposal by the federal government. This time, the organized labor, comprising the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, rejected the offer of the federal government to pay 60,000 naira as new minimum wage. The organized labor also shifted grounds from its 497,000 naira stance last week to 494,000 naira. A member of the tripartite committee for the negotiation of a new minimum wage for Nigerian workers said the federal government and the organized private sector side of the talks proposed a 60,000 naira monthly minimum wage as against the 57,000 naira they proposed last week when the committee last met. The government had initially proposed 48,000 naira and 54,000 naira last week, which were also rejected by the organized labor. Tuesday's meeting was, however, deadlocked as talks ended without an agreement on what to pay as a new minimum wage. The committee is yet to agree on a new minimum wage 3 days before the May 31 deadline the labor unions gave to the government to conclude the negotiations. Prices of tomatoes, peppers and other perishable items in the popular Paringada market of Jos North local government area, Plateau State, have skyrocketed amid scarcity of these commodities. Sellers are complaining about how the situation is affecting their business as customers can no longer afford these items due to the price increase. The sharp rise in prices is not only impacting traders' livelihoods, but also putting a strain on consumers who rely on these staple goods for their daily meals. Adu Musa completes the report.
This is the popular Paringada market, which used to be bustling with tomatoes, peppers, and other perishable items. Today, however, these commodities are scarce and hardly available, leaving market stalls looking empty. The scarcity has caused a significant price hike, with a basket of tomatoes that used to sell for 3,000 naira now being sold for 26,000 naira. Baba Suleiman, the vice chairman of the market, explained reasons behind the sudden increase in the price.
Firstly, it's due to this subsidy, so everything has changed. Fertilizer, petrol, everything. The money inside. Most of the farmers, they used to farm, they don't have that money to buy petrol and buy fertilizer. Most of them, they don't go to the farm again. So I think that's why we don't have much quantity like last year, because most of them, they don't used to farm again because they don't have that money to purchase all those things. And rain, secondly rain. If this year rain drop like last year by this time, because last year by this time there is rain, but now we don't, no rain. So due to the rain, all these things will still scarce.
Some traders explain how the situation is affecting their businesses.
The
situation is greatly affecting our business because people can no longer afford it. It is quite expensive. We are really in a difficult situation. This is where we source money for food, clothing and other expenses. But today, the market is not flourishing. The price is high because the commodity is scarce even on the farms. The scarcity has significantly impacted the lives of small-scale traders. Some customers who spoke to Trust TV in the market also expressed their dissatisfaction over the situation.
The last time I came here wasn't even long ago, and it's like the price has tripled, and it's crazy because I mean the one I even bought last time was more than this for a cheaper price, but all of a sudden it's even lesser for a higher price. So I'll still contemplate whether should I buy or should I not buy.
Well, unfortunately, it's actually alarming because the produce are not available. The prices are very high, and it's really difficult for everybody, both the sellers and we, the buyer. We're not seeing the produce. We don't know if it's the government or the farmers. We really don't know, but we're really at loss, and it's really difficult for us, honestly. So we really don't know what to do.
Skyrocketed recently, and everyday tomato price is adding up. So I don't know what's happening with the agricultural system in Nigeria. So if the government can see into it, because a lot of people, I used to sell tomatoes like basically every day, but now a lot of people cannot afford the price of the tomatoes because tomatoes now has gone really up.
Stakeholders in the market have stated that unless the government reinstates the fuel subsidy, the prices of tomatoes, peppers and other perishable items will continue to be scarce and costly in the country. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And on to the northwest region of the country. In a dramatic turn of events, the Federal High Court and the Kano State High Court have issued conflicting interim injunctions on the Kano Emirate, escalating tensions and uncertainty in the state. The Federal High Court in Kano State, presided over by Justice S.A. Amobeda, issued an order for the eviction of Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II from the Kofar Kudu Palace, reinforcing the authority of the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero. On the other hand, the Kano State High Court, under the jurisdiction of Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu, issued an injunction to protect Muhammadu Sanusi and other key figures from potential harassment by state authorities. These conflicting orders have led to significant confusion regarding the rightful authority and protection of the emirs in Kano State. The State High Court's case is set for further hearing on June 13, while the Federal High Court has adjourned its case to June 4. As both courts prepare for their respective hearings, the people of Kano State await clarity on the matter. And on to the National Assembly, the Senate has pardoned and recalled Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi, who was suspended on March 12 this year. The recall process was initiated on Tuesday after a motion moved by Deputy Minority Leader Abba Moro, who expressed regret on behalf of the suspended senator. He pledged to assume full responsibility for Ningi's actions, acknowledging the gravity of the suspension. The senator's conduct during the period of suspension has been a matter of scrutiny and debate within the legislative body. The president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, announced the unconditional recall of Ningi after a brief plea by some lawmakers. Ningi was recalled 2 weeks to the end of his 3-month suspension, which is supposed to terminate on June 12, 2024.
Abdul Ahmed Ningi, being under suspension, has spent over 2 months outside the precincts of the National Assembly complex and needs to return to continue with his legislative activities as a senator representing Bauchi Central Senatorial District.
Senator Abdul Ningi, no doubt, is our friend and is somebody we cherish so much. The spirit of this motion has met the demand and the request of this Senate previously. An apology should be given for that unfortunate interview where we are almost put on the spot as if we did things we did not do.
I urge the Senate, having apologized, the leadership having apologized on behalf of Senator Ningi, we should accept this apology so as to strengthen our spirit of brotherhood that we are known for.
Is there any senator who is opposed to this motion? Wow. So if there is nobody who is opposed to the motion, then I'll put the question. Those in support of the motion moved by the minority leadership and duly seconded that Senator Abdul Ningi, who was suspended from this August Assembly on the 12th day of March 2024, be recalled to participate in all proceedings of the Senate. Henceforth, say aye. Those against say nay. It is unanimous.
Still on the floor of the Red Chambers, the Senate has passed the National Anthem Bill 2024, which proposes reverting to the old national anthem, Nigeria, We Hail Thee. This bill, which swiftly passed its first and second readings on Thursday, now awaits President Bola Tinubu's assent to become law. The legislation aims to replace the current anthem, Arise O Compatriots, with the original anthem composed at Nigeria's independence on October 1, 1960. The bill seeks to revive the anthem that was replaced in 1978 during Olusegun Obasanjo's military administration. The old anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, was penned by Lillian John Williams, a British expatriate who lived in Nigeria at the time of its independence. Frances Berda composed the music. The anthem played a significant role in shaping Nigeria's national identity and unity during the 1960s and late 1970s. The senator representing Ondo South, Jimoh Ibrahim, has withdrawn his case against the All Progressives Congress and Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State ahead of the November 16, 2024 Ondo State governorship election. Ibrahim had approached the Federal High Court, Abuja, where he challenged the governorship primary election of the APC held recently in Ondo State. The senator claimed that there was no voting in his senatorial district and a larger part of the state. In a notice of withdrawal filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Ibrahim discontinued the suit against all the defendants in the interest of all concerned. At a press briefing on Tuesday in Abuja, Ibrahim said the suit was withdrawn due to the intervention of President Bola Tinubu and his assurances to improve on internal democracy within the APC.
Of Nigeria, because the issue I'm fighting for is not personal. It is simple to improve. It's simply to improve internal democracy, to which the President has promised improvement. My respect to Mr. President is absolute. Let me use the opportunity to thank Mr. President for the word of wisdom and encouragement during my meeting with him, which lasted for over 1 hour, and his various interactions with me on the telephone, during which he emphasized his commitment to internal democracy over and over again. Thank you, Mr. President.
President Bola Tinubu will address a joint sitting of the National Assembly on Wednesday, May 29, 2024. The clerk to the National Assembly, Sanate, in a statement said the president will address the lawmakers on State of the Nation and commission the NAS Library. President Tinubu, who was sworn in on May 29, 2023, will mark his first anniversary in office on Wednesday. The Tinubu government introduced some reforms like petrol subsidy removal and unification of the foreign exchange windows, but continues to battle the effects of such policies with soaring inflation rates and high cost of living crisis. And now to the southwestern region of the country. Worshippers of Mutmoyinat Central Mosque, located at Ososo Street in Papa Ajao, Mushin, Lagos, have expressed their grievances over the demolition of their mosque, blaming it on contractors' negligence. Let's take a look at the report.
Worshippers at these central mosques became victims as they were trapped in an unplanned demolition in the ongoing construction of road and installation of solar-powered street lights by Lagos State government. They blamed the demolition of the mosques on poor handling of projects by contractors. As you can see behind me, remnants of the construction materials lie scattered around the collapsed mosques. Witnesses say that the heavy digging and placement of these materials compromised the stability of the mosque's foundation.
As at yesterday, we lost one of my members is just like 10 years old, and if Her name is Aneva, and we got one yesterday again injured with one leg. Later got the information that we lost her too today again. So, and one of the young imam, his name is what's his name, Abdulatif Jeje, the son of the chief imam, was the one that was leading the congregation prayer before the incident happened. So that is in the hospital now, but responding to treatment.
When I was playing, I was seeing the sign, but I don't know what is going on. Lately, when I was at the last portion that we used to sujud, I'm seeing something black. When I salam like that, I told everybody, let us rush out. It's because I me am at the front. Before like this, the thing have blocked me. Everybody have been watching. But the moment of everybody watching is everybody have caught. But is that pillar that even fall on me, sha? But actually, nobody give up downstairs. But it's only like two little. Yes, a story building. Female are upstairs and male are downstairs.
Now small brother, you can't pray for this mosque. You don't enter inside, you don't keep him market for outside. Now so that thing can happen. Now you don't die. You never see the body safe.
They are grieving over the loss of one of the Islamic students graduates and others who were rushed to the hospital.
Residents of Kochi in Monya local government area of Niger State say bandits have not left their community 4 days after they were attacked. Bandits numbering about 300 had invaded Kochi and adjoining communities on Friday, killing 6 vigilantes and 4 other people. A resident who lamented that he, his family and dozens of other displaced persons were now in Sarakin Power, the headquarters of Monya local government area, said about 160 people were kidnapped during the attack. He added the bandits are still in the affected communities, rustling cattle and committing other crimes. The chairman of Monya local government area, Aminu Najume, said the bandits rode on about 150 motorcycles, with each one carrying 3 people during the attack. Nigerians have been speaking on the 1-year anniversary of the President Tinubu's administration, which came on board on the 29th of May 2023. Since then, Nigerians have expressed dissatisfaction with the performance of the government that promised renewed hope, especially on the economic front, as policies executed in that sector are yet to turn around the economy. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks to relevant stakeholders on what needs to be done to get the country's economy back on track. To report.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of...
The last 1 year has indeed been a period Nigerians will remember many years down the line, as the coming of the President Bola Tinubu administration ushered the country into a season of an unprecedented surge in the cost of goods and services. 1 year down the line, stakeholders have been speaking on the administration's policies and programs and their impact on the country.
To that extent, we need to put issues in context that, yes, the approval rating of Mr. President is very low at this point in time, but it's a shared responsibility and shared blame among all the elective political office holders, particularly the president and the governors. We have 36 governors, we have the executive president, and all of them are drawing budgets. The states are getting funding every month. What are they doing with it?
The impact of such policy decisions of the present administration in the lives of an average Nigerian. We have seen a couple of policy decisions of government that have not gone down well. And we have also seen some aggravated suffering, hardship, and which have also lowered the standard of living of Nigerians.
They also highlighted what the government can do to turn things around.
We need sincerity of purpose. We need commitment. We need collaboration, robust engagement among the 3 tiers of government.
So there should be some level of systematic policies of government, and they should implement it in a manner that it will not be also bringing such kind of ripple effect or a sort of counterproductive, in the sense that you apply the policies and make sure that it gives the required outcome.
Some FCT residents commented on the performance of the administration so far.
But you know, Nigeria system is our president, so there's nothing we can do about it. So we're expecting that things that have gone wrong in the Buhari administration, he will come in to help us to repair it. But for the past 1 year, I will not lie, it has been rough for the whole Nigeria. I'm not speaking for only myself. Everything has become so difficult.
1 year has been a difficulty for Nigerians. A lot of people have been experiencing hard time, complaining here and there about the government is not favoring and is stepping everything. The price of things go up, and people they were unable to afford a lot of things. Price of things change, fuel change, and it has not been easy all around for people.
Nigerians are hopeful that going forward, the present administration will work towards making life easier for the average Nigerian. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
We'll take it away from Nigeria now. The establishment of a Palestinian state is the only route to peace in the Middle East, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has said as his country announced the formal recognition alongside Norway and Ireland. Sanchez spoke on Tuesday before a cabinet vote that approved the previously announced plan to recognize a Palestinian state. Norway's recognition has also taken effect, while Ireland's has also followed suit. Spanish government spokesperson Pilar Algeria announced that the cabinet had adopted an important decision to recognize a Palestinian state, which had the objective to help Israelis and Palestinians achieve peace. The Spanish Prime Minister called the move a matter of historical justice. The leaders of Spain, Ireland, Malta, and Slovenia said in March that they were considering recognizing a Palestinian state as a positive contribution towards ending the war in Gaza. However, the announcements earned only fury from Israel, widening its disagreements with some European Union states over the continuing war in Gaza.
The recognition of the State of Palestine is not only a matter of historical justice with the legitimate aspirations of the Palestine people, but it is also an imperative need to achieve peace. It is the only way to realize the solution that we all recognize as the only possible one to achieve a future of peace, that of a Palestine state that coexists alongside the State of Israel in peace. I would like to underline that starting tomorrow, we will focus all our efforts to implement the two-state solution and make it a reality. We will work on three main priorities. First, we must urgently put an end to the ongoing unprecedented crisis in Gaza. I call once again for a permanent ceasefire, for the entry of humanitarian aid, and for the immediate release of all the Israeli hostages held by Hamas. Secondly, we will support the Palestine National Authority in the reform process initiated by its new government. The Palestine Authority is our partner for peace, and it will need all of our support. And finally, we will continue to foster cooperation with our Arab partners who are working and committed towards peace and prosperity in the region. We will continue working with them with the aim of convening an international peace conference to implement the two-state solution.
Finally, in sports news, Super Eagles goalkeeper Maduka Okoye says it is an honor for him to return to the national team. The 24-year-old shot-stopper has been out of the national team since October 2023 when he turned down the invitation to play an international friendly against Saudi Arabia and Mozambique. Okoye was among the players invited for the upcoming 2026 World Cup qualifier against South Africa and Benin. His performance this season with Udinese has caught the attention of the Super Eagles coach, Finidi George. Okoye made 22 appearances for Udinese in all competitions this season. And that concludes the news update on Trust Television at this hour. Do not forget you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time. Join us again.